Hi guys, Tom here, welcome to the vlog. Right, so I've been 18 for nearly half a year now, and been finished with organised schooling for nearly a month. And I've already started to notice some things about growing up which were never quite prepared for by anybody. Firstly, there's the independence. Now I know at the moment personally I'm more free than your average working adult, because effectively I'm on an extended break before I go off to university in September. But moving from the totally mundane school structure of lesson, lesson, eat, lesson, lesson, eat, lesson, lesson, home, to being completely free to do what I want and setting my own goals of what I need to do is a very jarring experience. And as such, I spend more time sitting here thinking, now what should I do today? And inevitably I end up just going to the fridge and looking about 50 times, hoping that there's something different in there every time to lighten up the day, which is something that the structure of school life doesn't quite prepare you for. Then there's the cooking. Looking after myself at home more often means that I've had to actually start cooking for myself, which to be honest hasn't turned out as well as I'd hoped it would. For example, recently I decided I'd cook myself omelettes. Now I've seen my dad do this countless times and it always looks really easy, so I thought, now that is a really easy thing to make. What is the worst that could happen? Turns out, lots can go wrong. Firstly, I was a bit zealous with the egg, so I smashed it on the side of the bowl, shooting egg all over the kitchen and covering the cupboards. Then I found out that the eggs I was using were totally out of date and stunk. After that I found some eggs which were in date, proceeded to smash one of those all over the kitchen as well. I then burnt the eggs on one side whilst having them completely raw on the other side. I'm still not quite sure how this is possible. I then finally scrambled the eggs instead of making an omelette. It was at this point I realised that being 18 doesn't automatically make you a domestic god. Incidentally, I've discovered that woks are possibly the best thing you can use to cook anything in the kitchen. Next, there's money, but I don't really want to dwell on this one too much because, let's be totally honest, a vlog about finances would be really boring. But basically, when you have lots of plans of things to do over the summer, but you don't have the money to support these plans, you find yourself in a bit of a quandary. Finally, there's not dying. On my list of things to do as an adult, not dying probably ranks pretty high on that list. It probably takes the top spot, to be honest, closely followed by eating. And I've discovered that growing up presents itself with many opportunities for you to accidentally kill yourself. For example, things typically associated with growing up, such as shaving. Now you are literally holding a razor-sharp blade to your face to remove hair. The amount of times I've accidentally nicked myself shaving is unreal. Now admittedly, doing yourself any real injury while shaving today is much less than it was back in the olden days, when you literally used a cutthroat razor to cut your hair. And to be quite honest with you, my ineptitude would mean I would much rather just have a beard than use one of those razors. There's so many other things that I just can't cover in this one video, so let me know in the comments below any things that you've noticed changing from when you were younger to when you are now. Also, a few weeks ago when I made a video, I asked you guys to get in touch about your neglected clothes, and I had some great feedback in the comments about that. And also, Joyce made a video of herself wearing her neglected horse riding outfit. There should be a link to the video on screen now, so feel free to check that out. Hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to become part of the Army of Awesome today, and I'll see you next week.